if you've known me for a while, you'll know that every single object I place in the Sims game, or every single swatch that I use for wallpaper, I overthink it for the umpteenth time. And I'm not saying that this is something that I necessarily will not be doing in this build. However, this build made me actually sit back, look, and think, I can actually build in The Sims 4.
Country boy, I love you.
I'm so proud of this build and I'm so excited to show you it. I didn't really expect much going in. I just know that I was watching Hannah Montana at the time of it, the movie, and I was like, I just want to build a Southern style build. And obviously my knowledge of that is very limited. It's literally Hannah Montana. So that's the premise of this video. First off, starting with the outside, I was Googling ranch, typical ranch style build homes. Obviously, it's something that I'm not really acquainted with given the fact that I'm not American. And here, countryside houses don't tend to look like ranches. In fact, we don't really have ranches in the UK. I would say in the UK, if you're a countryside farmer, you probably live in a brick house. It probably looks quite old. Or, to be honest, some even look quite new. Like, some just look like a normal semi-detached house, and then there's just a big amount of farmland. So I'm not that well acquainted with ranches. And when I Googled ranches, a lot of them were one floor, and I knew that this wasn't something that I wanted to do for this build, because we already had a lot of one floor ranches already in the game with the expansion pack. So I decided to do a 2-story ranch. And like I said in the intro, I kind of wanted to base this on Tennessee. Babe, literally, I've never been to Tennessee. So it could be 100% wrong, my darlings. But I wanted to go for more of a country style theme. Basically, I'm trying to bring Appaloosa Plains to real life rather than a Wild West theme. Because I do enjoy a Wild West theme, but I had a special interest in Hannah Montana from the ages of like 14 to 16. So a little bit of country style just lives in my heart. And it's no wonder why Appaloosa Plains was my favorite world in The Sims 3. So that is the mode that I went. And I kind of, when I was initially playing with it with like the roof colors, we have a new, what's it called? Shingle style. I don't know. I mean, I know they're called shingles, but is it shingle style? But anyway, that's what we're going with, babe. The shingle style. There's 2 colors. One's just a dark and one's like a gray. I use the dark one all the time, like that style of shingle. So I wanted to try and push myself and use a lighter style of shingle. But for me, I don't know, because the default shingle that we have when you just place a roof is grey, now my mind just automatically associates shingles with grey shingles with being unfinished or lack of effort. I don't know why, but it does. So it just wasn't feeling right to me. And even for the wallpapers, I tried to go, I say wallpaper, like for the paneling outside, I tried to go for a lighter style of that instead of dark and moody, because usually I go dark and moody and end up regretting going so dark and moody. So I just tried to do something light, but it wasn't calling my name, I'll be honest with you. Dark and moody prevailed 100%. So I did like how it came together, even with the landscaping. Like, one thing I will always say when I'm building is I hate landscaping. I am not a good landscaper. I don't know where to put things. I don't know, something about it. Maybe because it's not a suburban built up area, so I don't feel like heavy landscaping is a huge contrast to the world around it. Because it's more open, I was like, this actually looks good with the fence around it. I built stables as well. There are 2 stables there. I was limited because the training things are so big. I was kind of limited in what I could put on the outside bit, because I was like, yeah, they can go around some barrels, they can have a little jumpy jump, you know, but that couldn't really come to fruition actually, because they were so fucking big. Granted, there are training things all around the world, so you don't even have to sit through a loading screen to go and train your horse, which is cool. But I did feel limited because I couldn't place any, but the horse still got some things, you know. And I also just enjoyed the general landscape in decorations as well. There's a saddle horse thing which I placed later on. I don't even babe, literally I'm not a horse girl, so my knowledge of this is very surface level. But it looks like a saddle, something that you rest a saddle on. Anyway, I had a great time, honestly. I do love these style of builds, especially with the wraparound porch. America, one thing that you do well, babe, is porches. See, the thing is, it's a thing where it's like, have you seen the TikTok guy where he's, what's something that's classy if you're rich but tacky if you're poor? I think one of those things is sitting in your front garden. I 100% think that is, because I don't know, I think my sister's moved to the back garden now, but we used to sit on the front garden a lot. Where Americans, it's really normalized. It's kind of got like, the UK is very, very classist, so it's got a kind of stigma around that. But I mean, I suppose in the UK, if you're rich, you've got more space. So if you sat out on your front garden, you know, you're not going to have the entire street looking at you. Where we live, you will literally have every single house on the street seeing you because the houses are all built together. This is such a detour. But America, you do porches right. So just have that as a takeaway from that little anecdote, I guess. But yeah, loved the outside of this build. I went super random and I even put a pond outside. Who the fuck do I think I am? I never mess with those type of landscaping tools, but messed I did, darling. They literally have a pond. I'm just a builder. I'm just a builder bitch. Big builder energy. BBE. I do lack confidence with builds a lot. The outside is where I really lack the confidence. I find that I can sometimes go all out. I don't know. Usually the back of my builds end up looking better than the front. I don't know why that is. But in this build, I feel like it was very even. I also tried to do some really random things. I struggle, right? Speaking of the UK versus America, one thing I struggle with in The Sims is no matter what, my builds always end up just having a bit of a British look about them, like the way that they're structured, especially the inside, which we will get onto then. So without further ado, the inside. I really feel like my floor plans really show the British in me. You look at my floor plans and just Queen Lizzie is just gracing the floor plan with her presence because it's so fucking British. No matter what, I will always subconsciously try and go for a British floor plan. And this is something that I think really shows in British simmers, American simmers, and like we're also, you can see where we live come out in our builds, because for me, I'm always trying to go for a closed off route where when I'm playing one of Little Simsy's builds has a so open plan, where mine are like, no, you need to keep the heat in. It is cold in the winter. But I also just find, maybe because I'm just used to it, that a closed floor plan is the coziest and it's the easiest for me to decorate, because I guess I already know what a closed floor plan looks like. But yeah, I always have a closed off kitchen, dining room, living room. And I did try and go a typical British way with this floor plan, but I had to redesign it. It just wasn't quite working. And the floor honestly didn't change that much after I reworked it. I think it looks a lot better. Something else that I also included is a basement, which I never include basements in builds really. Like I just honestly, just going downstairs and not seeing anything around me makes me so sad. I cannot bear it. So I don't tend to use basements in builds. But Nectar ages faster in basement, so I wanted to include a little like Prohibition era thing. I don't even know if this is ranch relevant, but I know that in America a lot of old builds during Prohibition, I hope that's the right term for it, where they banned alcohol, had secret bars where they could go and meet. So I thought that could be cool. That could be really cool. So that's what I included, and I made it up like a bar. But yeah, the floor plan was a bit of a bitch, honestly. You know what? I'm sick of getting bars in The Sims 4. Every time we get a new pack, it's like, wow, a new bar and a new bar behind. Like, we have enough bars. Do you know what I mean? I guess it makes more sense with the Nectar, but honestly, I liked the swatches of this bar. I'm never excited to build a bar, and I was excited to build a bar with this one. Bar. You know, I liked it. I liked how it looked. I was a bit tight for space. I could have potentially made the basement a little bit bigger, but hey ho. And I also included this chest. I think you can probably store Nectar in here or something, but I was like, yeah, this is where they hide the beer, because it's a Prohibition era. Although it's not actually period relevant, because there's also like a computer and that in the house. Do you know what I mean? So, and for the downstairs as well. Again, there's two themes constantly battling with me when I'm making builds, and it's light and airy or dark and moody. And I feel like that in my own house as well. Like this room, light and airy, darling. She's so like, oh my god, it's a cottage castle 2020. And then my kitchen is like black, you know, like screamo. So yeah, and I find that also comes out a lot in my builds. But I thought it looked really fun. I also done a two-tone kitchen cabinet color. I didn't think I'd fuck with. I thought I'd make it all blue, but I quite liked the blue and brown. A lot of it I wanted to make it feel like this had been in the family for generations and it just been kind of passed down, and these are the wood floors that were the wood floors when the house was actually built. So you know what, it made me really, really happy. I just enjoyed the entire experience of making this build. And I doubt myself a lot. I get really stressed out in builds. Like, honestly, I was more stressed out during builds than I was in my GCSEs. So, like, something about it. I love it. I love the experience of it. But I think it's because it's like a puzzle, isn't it? Like, you have to try and find out the thing that works best. So it can get quite overwhelming. But for me, I'm like a diamond under pressure. I kind of prefer being under a little bit of pressure. So maybe that's why I find the entire experience of building enjoyable, even if it does stress me out like fuck. I also, when I was building it, I was like, this living room is going to be really fucking big. Like I've made this living room too big. But in the end, she looked quite cozy. In the end, actually, I was a bit like, she's small. How am I going to fit this piano in here? I also think in The Sims 4, a lot of hidden items. Might just be for me because I always forget to check their like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. But a lot of hidden items are always in the shelving because I always look for a bookcase. And what I'm actually looking for is a shelving unit that I can put books on because the little books are now readable in The Sims 4. That's a tip for you because I'm always feeling lackluster in the bookcase department. I will not lie though, and they do need some, to make them look good, like I have to do bb.move objects and then alt-9 place some of the books so it actually looks like I haven't just shot 3 books in there, you know, but the book nuke, it might work with it. I just know people are going to have heard that sentence go, the fucking what now, Jessica? The book nuke. One of my favorite comments I get on my channel, honestly, is, this is like a direct quote as well. I got this comment for, I don't know what the fuck this bitch is saying, but I'm having a great time. But I feel like people understand my accent a lot more now. When I was in Paris with Sasha and Steph, Sasha said, when I first watched your videos, girl, I could not understand it. Like she was just watching my videos like, but now she understands my accent. Which is good, because we just went to Paris together. So if she didn't, I mean, she could have not understood my accent the entire time. She was smiling a lot. She could have just been like, smile and wave, boys. I think that's all I've got to say about the downstairs, really. Kitchen, dining room, living room. And then for the upstairs, I had the time of my life. Not to absolutely berate this sheet, but I had the time of my life making the upstairs. Fun fact about me, when I was like I said, 14, 16, special interest was Hannah Montana. And my parents let me redecorate my room. It was getting up to that time anyway. Like they went just like, yeah, room decoration station. Like my parents like, make sure that you like this room because this is going to be your room for fucking years to come. But they let me redecorate my room. I had a blue carpet. Bear with me. I had blue carpet and I had blue wallpaper, but it was like a pale, both were pale, dusky blues. And like not a pastel blue, but like more of a dusky pastel blue kind of version like that. And then it had little darker blue flowers in it, and it was just so country. Like I was so countryside girl, and I had a white wardrobe and I had a white, I guess kind of shabby chic, but less British than shabby chic, you know. And it was my favorite room ever. And honestly, I tried to kind of bring the vibe of that room into the rest of these rooms. Unfortunately for me, I could not keep a bedroom tidy as a teenager. Honestly, I still struggle now. One of my biggest regrets in life is that I couldn't keep that bedroom tidy because that bedroom was all beyond beautiful. And I trashed her. It's just something that I couldn't do. Like I had all intentions. It wasn't well, I guess it kind of was a lazy thing to be honest, but it wasn't just that. I don't know. It's like I blink and it'd be fucked up. And it's a complete contrast to what I was like as a kid, because as a kid, I used to spend hours, maybe not a day, but I used to spend daily just polishing my room and nothing was out of place in my room. And if somebody came in my room, I wouldn't be able to stand it. And my sister also used to be scared of sleeping alone because my sister's always been like that. She's always hated sleeping alone. So she used to bring a cover into my room and sleep on my rug. And instead of being like, oh, God bless, my sister's scared in the middle of the night, I'd be like, you brought your cover into my bedroom that I've just tidied. Take your cover out. I was a bit of a twat as a kid, to be honest. Like, honestly, I've always been a type A personality in a type B body. You know, like I look like a type B. My accent feels like a type B. My chaos feels like a type B, but in here, babe, it's all type A. It's all neurotic. Do you know what I mean? I just complete juxtaposition. I would love to be a type B. Love to be a type B. Unfortunately, very stereotypical type A. Like even got the autism diagnosis to prove it. Do you know what I mean? Oh. Also, one cheeky little thing that I done was I had this side bit over the, not garage, but like the side bit of the house. And I thought that it would work, and then I ended up doing this kind of extension. And then I still noticed that I had one space and I couldn't really place a shower without it looking a little bit odd. So I ended up just like putting the box back a little bit. I'm sure you'll be able to see it better than I'm describing it right now because I'm not doing a good job of that. But, and then the shower just fit in there and it was like the perfect little cupboard. And I was like, oh, gee, Jessica, babe. That's the entire build. Overall, I will put pictures in. You know what? I might even treat you. I might even put pictures in now. This was, guys, sometimes, you know when you do something and it kind of kickstarts your love for The Sims again and you just feel so inspired and you're like, I can do anything. There is nothing that I cannot do. I can build any build. I could build the Taj Mahal. I could not build the Taj Mahal in Sims 4, let's not lie. Yeah, oh, it's just inspired me so much. I loved this build and I hope that you love it too. It's not currently on the gallery because the pack is not out yet. This is still pre-recorded content that I'm posting. But trust that once I've bought the pack and have access to it, I will import my tray files and I will upload it onto the gallery so you can have it as well. It is base game plus this pack, so there's nothing else. That is everything that I have for you today. Thank you all so much for joining me on this journey. I love you all. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope that you've really been enjoying my content lately because I can just feel just how settled I am in my soul and how much that is showing through on my content. So I hope that you've been enjoying it. And you know what? If you haven't, at least I have. Do you know what I mean? I will see you in the next one, which will hopefully be tomorrow. I love you. Bye.